Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. So, National day one for me was day two for the show itself. Was better than I hoped for. It was amazing. And I've got stories, I've got video, I've got photos, I've got all kinds of stuff that I'm going to go through. First of all, and pickups. So the sights and sounds of the National and pickups of day two. I think this was a much better show than it was 2 years ago here in Chicago. There's so much more room to move around, and I'm going to go through some stuff and I'll show it. But downstairs, where the National was last time and where it's packed, it feels like there's more room to move around, especially at vintage tables. The modern tables are jam-packed. I went upstairs because I wanted to see Jeremy Donson, this Texas Snowman, and I was hoping to see Chris too, but he wasn't there at the moment. We're getting at lunch, so that's no big deal. Upstairs was a bit of a disaster, and you'll see here in this video there is a ton of open space, tons of open space. And then they packed all the tables into this one tiny little section, and there's no room to move around. In fact, I'm going to show you this little video of me panning around this area a little bit to show you how little room there is, and let's see if you can pick out Greg of Midlife Cards in the video. We're doing a little Where's Greg? So we're going to go through a bunch of video, talk through it as much as I can, talk over it, and then I want to show you my pickups, which are not exactly plentiful, and not because cards were expensive. I just didn't find any that fit what I was looking for, and I've become more selective. So I don't know. I actually found some amazing deals, and we'll go through them. All right, just some cool vintage bobbleheads here. I thought these were really neat, of a vintage Clemente. Here's the Yaz booth. This is the Yaz guy, and I have to stop by his table every time. He has all these 10s, a couple of rare 9s as well. I didn't take video of much of his stuff, but it's just amazing, and he's such a great guy. And this was Leighton Sheldon, fresh to the hobby, T206 set, 500, I think he said 521 of the 524 cards. I don't remember the exact number, but it is amazing. Here's a bunch of non-sports stuff. You can get, I know it's National Sports Collectors Convention, but you can get all kinds of non-sports stuff there too. Here is a Hank Aaron. I really wanted this, and the dealer was very honest with me. He said that because of the paper loss on the back, SGC didn't slab it, and PSA wouldn't tell him if they would. He'd need to submit it. So he's decided he's going to sell as is, and somebody else can take the risk. And I really appreciated that he was honest about it. Here is crazy table with just amazing, and this isn't even one of the best. I started out going, oh wow, this is amazing. Then there are more and better ones too. At the National, you see the most amazing vintage and pre-war and rare stuff. It is everywhere. I can't get enough of it. And today, I need to go back and get more stuff. All right. This is REA, and they just have... It's all up for auction, obviously. And some of these cards are the best cards in the world at insanely high grades. Yeah, just whew, very nice stuff. Tough to really tell what everything is, but yeah, this is just, it's unique. This is all boxing stuff, which I find really interesting. First half of the 20th century boxing cards are really cool. And then they had a 1948-49 Leaf set. I don't know if boxing was 48 or 49. I know it says 48, but with baseball, it's actually 49. Unique stuff here. I don't know what we're really looking at here. This guy had like Jeff Reardon autographs and Harold Reynolds autographs. And it always surprises me to see tables like this. They spend $5,000 for the table, and then they have these unusual things that are not really in demand. And this is awesome. Magazines, vintage magazines and World Series programs. You've got the 46 World Series program, Red Sox. Just really, really neat stuff. I love these vintage things. And as PSA ramps up grading on magazines, I think you're going to see values go up. This is at the National. This is on a Thursday morning. And it's pretty darn packed. And it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to get way more busy. Garbage Pail Kids unopened Series 1 wax boxes, wrestling cards, Star Trek cards. This is the BBCE booth. Non-sports Lost in Space Mod Squad, Green Hornet, and then you've got the 79 O-Pee-Chee hockey with Gretzky. These are, and a lot of these are sold, and these are like $150,000, $200,000 boxes. There's a Desert Shield box. $275,000 box sold. Here's more going around the National. Here's the Golden booth with some Shohei, Ichiro. Yeah, kind of a little too fast here, but these are the dollar boxes. It always surprises me how many people spend a significant chunk of their day just going through dollar boxes. I've repeated this video just to talk about it a little bit. This is a vintage table, tons and tons of room to move around. And then I pan over, here's an ultra modern table, jam-packed. And this is the way it was pretty much all day. 86 World Series ticket, Game 7 and Game 6. Here's a bunch of autographed baseballs that are pretty rare. The players, the Cy Young 1955 Pirates, Clemente, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. Just amazing. These are things you just don't see all the time. Yeah, this just great pre-war stuff. You got the Test Bobby Orr. You have early hockey cards, pre-war baseball, Babe Ruths. Man, this is just, it's fun just going back over all of this. And then you have some meaningful tickets. I'm not going to go through what all of these tickets are, but they're like Warren Spahn no-hitter and Cal Ripken debut. Here's a tennis table. You don't see a lot of tennis cards there, but this table had nothing but tennis cards. Big time tennis player, rookie. Actually, these are second year. This is all at one table. Jackie, Clemente, Mantle. Couldn't you just watch this all day? 3 Frank Thomas no name on front. We've got some of the George Bush 1990 tops. A bunch of cut autographs of big, like Jackie Robinson. There's a Babe Ruth. Killer table. This is the line outside the National. It was, I don't know, 5 times as long as that. Some cool early things. Here's the Bob Cousy autograph on a Burke Ross. It's O-Pee-Chee 1979 with Schmidt on the back, which I kind of wanted. Leighton Sheldon had this. It was a cool story about the Michael Jordan photo, very early photo that he bought. Here's me with Mike Moynihan, baseball collector. Now we get to all these. Here is Orlando. What a guy. Nicest guy in the hobby. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is a 1961 Fleer basketball wrapper I almost bought. Almost. And Caitlin Clark, I sold mine for $2,000. It looked better than this. He has it priced at $9,500. Art DeBart card priced at $50,000. And then we have the Grail. Yeah, just really fun stuff. This is a graded full set 1986 Fleer. And then we're back to the people. This is Eric of Those Back Pages. Super nice guy. I could have talked to him forever. Greg, he'll tell this story on his channel. I'm going to let him do that. Here's Mike Petty. Super nice guy. I just met him for the first time. And Greg, of course, I had met before last year at the National. Tony Liebrick of Southern Collector. And then Greg again. Hung out with these guys. And here's Mackie Mintle. Check out his channel. Another interesting guy with a lot of cool stuff. Rocket Rick. What a guy. Nice guy. And this sign says in memorandum when it should say in memoriam. All right, let's show my pickups here. First of all, I was born in 1979. I decided a while back that I wanted to collect a wax pack, PSA graded, from each 1979 set. Now, that's going to be difficult with hockey because those packs are expensive. But I did get the basketball pack, 1979 Topps basketball. So that's cool. Really happy about that. My first purchases of the day were actually thanks to Mike Moynihan, baseball collector. Got a Jack Morris. And you know I love the Diamond Kings autographed. I got 3 more of those. Tony Perez. You might call this a Tony Perez steal. Sorry. And a Robin Yount. I didn't have these 3, and Mike, I was actually looking at a table, or maybe I was right next to the table, and Mike said, hey, this guy has a box with Diamond Kings autographs, not graded, which is exactly what I want, although I did drop off a Yaz to get certified, to get authenticated by CGC. So I bought those 3 from one guy, gave me a good deal. I was really happy with that. And then another card I've had on my watch list on eBay for probably close to a year, maybe even more, is a 1956 Topps Jackie Robinson. And I found this one for listed for well under what I've been looking at them for on eBay, even auctioned. And then I had them take 10% off the price still. So I was really pleased to get that. Look at that centering on this one. And it's a gray back. The back matters not at all to me. So somebody asked me, is it a gray back or a white back? And I said, oh, you know what? I didn't even look. Doesn't matter to me. And then I crossed off one of my Ace 100, and yes, the Ace 100 list will be coming back pretty soon. 1926 Lambert and Butler, Bobby Jones. And this is a 2, and it is stunning. And somebody, I think it was Greg, was saying, why is it a 2? Why is it a 2? And he was trying to look it over, and I was like, Greg, I don't care. This is, you know, if I can look at it and not tell, I'm not going to look at it under magnification. I'm not going to do anything like that. This is an amazing card, and I'm thrilled that it's a 2 because it helped me afford it. All right, those are my big pickups of the day. I should have written down who gave me these. I'm trying to remember. I remember him handing it to me. Wade Boggs, 86. Right on the tip of my tongue who gave that to me. I was standing there talking to Jim Faulkner when somebody came over. And then Jim gave me this amazing pack of Red Sox stuff. I didn't have this Pawtucket Ellis Burks card. Actually, I didn't have any of these cards, and I have a huge Mike Greenwell collection. I actually need to do a Greenwell binder. And then this All Aces Pedro, which is really cool. So then Yaz and Clemens, and I should have, I think this is from Jake, Wax Pack Wisdom. And then this one, a guy named J.E., who was a commenter here, introduced himself. We went to the YouTube get-together, which was canceled, by the way. So we went up to the YouTube get-together. Mike cancels it, and we all went outside, and we got kicked out of there too. Not because anybody was behaving poorly, which would have been a lot more exciting. I actually don't know why. I didn't hear anything that was being said. I just know that the hotel kicked us out. And so we walked 3/4 of a mile, and I was tired. I had been up since 1:30. We walked 3/4 of a mile down to a place called Shoeless Joe's, and a guy named J.E., who was a commenter, gave me this. And I had said on a video recently that I would be open to buying Nomar refractor from the 1990s. I didn't have any, and of course I didn't see any. I didn't expect to see any. But yeah, he gave me this at the YouTube get-together, and there were only about 20 of us who walked down there, so I was glad he did. It's very cool. I'd never seen this card before. I've seen Lords of the Diamond, but I don't think I'd ever seen the Garcia Parra. Oh, and you know what? Jake Wax Pack Wisdom. Maybe it was, I don't remember who gave me those two. Maybe it was Dan. Jake Wax Pack Wisdom gave me this, another wrapper, and another wrapper to add to my collection. And at the YouTube get-together, before we got kicked out, Iconic Al was handing out 1989 Topps packs. And I opened one. It was kind of a hot pack, had a lot of Hall of Famers in it. And then I ate the gum. And it just dissolved. I popped it in my mouth, and I started chewing, and then it was gone. I had swallowed it. It just kind of dissolves in your mouth. And I felt fine. No problems. Leighton Sheldon gave me this shirt. It's a Chicago, it's in the style of the early Chicago Bulls, and it's got 45 because it's the 45th National. And then it's got the Jordan, he texted, "I'm back." It says, "We're back." I thought it was a cool design. Okay. Day 2 for me, I'm hoping to be just as good. I met a lot of awesome people yesterday. I'm hoping to meet even more today. And then I'm going out to dinner. I'll see you all tomorrow.